All right, gang, back here at Ballinger Creek Park talking kickball with the folks here from FACKA. Brian McLean here, and we have two more guests who are really involved in the league, not just as participants but also as sponsors, and they are Frank Yagi and Jeff Meadows. And guys, welcome to the show. It's good to see you. And Frank, we'll let you talk about your business first of all. I believe you're involved in poker tables and very active in the league.
That's correct. Me and my partner actually run a side business, www.allincustompokertables.com, and we basically, as kind of a hobby, we're really active in poker, and we like to have our own little home games and stuff like that. And we build our own custom tables, different sizes and shapes, and based on the customer requirements. And basically, when I met Jason, I took it as an opportunity to to try to get our name out there a little bit more, and sponsor a team and get active in the league. And it's been a lot of fun so far, and it's paid off, and I hope to do it from here on out.
When you first heard kickball, what were your thoughts, and looking back on that now, how has it changed, if at all?
Fourth grade, screaming and kicking, and but having a lot of fun. Now, being active in the league as far as reffing, and I'm sure Jeff can attest that it's a ton of fun. It's just as it was when I was a kid, except you think it's more laid back and it's more social, and it is, but it is just as competitive as any other sport. For people our age,
it's gotten ridiculously competitive.
It is. When you're talking about a couple of the top teams, as far as Guido's and our team, it gets to be where it's serious business, but it's still a lot of fun.
What are the records right now of the teams? Do you guys know?
We just took first place last week because they had a bye week. Right. Before that, they were in first place, but we were pretty close.
And we still are
in the rankings.
Yeah, we play tonight. I think you guys are 4-1-2, I think, and we're 3-0-3. So we have one game in hand. So we play tonight, and hopefully I'll be smiling at him later on and taking first place. But we'll see what happens.
It goes back a couple of weeks ago, and we ended up tying.
We ended up tying two of the best teams in the league.
So it was an epic kickball game.
And it's a lot of fun. It's so much fun. Yeah, it's an absolute blast.
Obviously, two well-matched teams. Jeff, your involvement in the league, and do you circle certain teams on the schedule, knowing the big game is coming up?
That was the one with Frank's team. Yeah, it's the one we took the most seriously. There was a lot of smack talk going on that day before we played.
A lot of texting.
Yeah.
A lot of we'll see what's going to happen.
It's 2007 when guys are texting about the match coming up that night.
And kickball at that.
Yeah. How things going for you, Jeff? First of all, with your business, tell us about Guido's and getting involved in the league.
Guido's is a restaurant bar downtown Frederick. We're a little farther up than most of the other bars downtown, but we do well. And last year when the kickball thing started, I was a little behind. I didn't find out about it until they'd already really set everything up. But I wanted to get involved, so this year we got a team, sponsored some of the charity event stuff that we've done. I also got together with Jason and we did a charity flag football game for Toys for Tots this past Christmas time, which was a lot of fun.
It seems that the league is reaching out. We talked about this with Jason and Matt last segment, but there was the benefit for the American Cancer Society this past weekend. You mentioned Toys for Tots. How about the community involvement from your guys' perspective? I'll start with you, Jeff. Obviously, you're reaching out, getting some exposure yourselves, but it's a win-win situation.
Sure, yeah, definitely. I've been lucky enough to get in the position where I can do something for somebody else. So I try to.
Frank?
Like I said, I'm kind of new at this. Jeff's been around, Frederick and with his business and, Guido's and everything for a little longer than I have, as far as actually trying to be involved in the community or being involved with things outside of your own business. The charity event that we had this past weekend with FACKA and everything was actually probably one of the first times that I've actually been able to. We donated a poker table, valued it around $700, and it actually went for close to $600, and it was one of the biggest ticket items that was auctioned off to go towards the American Cancer Society and towards charity. So I'm kind of new at this, but it's a great feeling. It's interesting to see how many people are actually involved and how many people, if you're not out there doing things, you don't realize how many people actually care and actually kind of get involved with some of the different community programs that are out there. So yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I can guarantee that this is only the first of many events that we're going to be part of.
And it's interesting, the league is very young, and yet in 1 year you've gone from, I think, 120 to 250 people, or 140, whatever it was, to now 3 teams have been at it. As you mentioned, you're new at this. A lot of folks like yourself, I guess, getting involved for the first time. Do you see this really growing over the next 2, 3, 5 years?
I believe. I think we're supposed to add. I think he said at least 2 or 3 or 4 more teams to the fall session.
And I think some of the people are going to start coming up from Montgomery County.
Yeah, because they're not happy, I guess, with one way or the other with maybe their teams or their leagues or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I've seen it. From what I understand, it's doubled in size, and there's people that come here. I'm sure you can hear the softball game in the background. There's people that hang around after softball and have asked myself, Jason. I don't know if Jeff's had to deal with it, but you know, what are you guys doing? You know, you're playing kickball. This is great. It's nuts. You know, how do we get involved? And it's only going to take off from here.
Jeff, how important is the league from a sense of how it's organized and how it's run? I mean, the job Jason's doing is obviously very good. He has good people working with him, but I know in other areas, kickball is kind of, you put it out in the middle of the field somewhere and you just go ahead and play. Here you're on, manicured fields, fenced in, lights, bases. You know, it sounds pretty basic, but that's not always the case with some kickball leagues around the other areas.
Yeah, I'm pretty impressed with what he's done getting everything organized. You know, I think if I would have approached, whomever to try and get space to do kickball, I might have been laughed at first. But, But he's really plugged away at it and definitely stepped it up.
Yeah, the standards are kind of high. It's like, I mean, if we're considering we're playing kickball, a lot of the other leagues in the area play in the middle of fields and don't have bases, and and it seems like, well, it's no big deal until you get out there and you play, and now you're on a baseball diamond, and you have an infield and outfield, you got a bases, home plate, a backstop. It seems kind of, people take those things for granted until you see, until you compare us to some other leagues around.
And Jeff, it gives you guys an advantage when people are comparing. Obviously, they're going to go where it looks a little bit more professional, a little bit more organized, and that's a feather in your cap.
Yeah, well, I think one of the best things about it is, like, it's not a game you can really take all that seriously. I mean, it's going to be fun. And that's what it should be all about. So a lot of the other sports that maybe you join some league for, it's a little too competitive. I've been on like dart leagues and pool leagues and stuff like that. It's just not really what I want to do. It's too competitive to be fun at that point.
Got to have that balance.
This has the balance.
And competitive, and of course winning's fun, but losing's okay as long as you have a good time and do your thing. Guys, thanks for being on. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
We have more of the show here, folks, from Ballinger Creek Park. Again, spending time with the guys from FACKA, the Kickball League here in Frederick County. More of Sidelines is coming up after this.
Everybody's initial reaction is, I used to play kickball when I was in elementary school, and when you sit there and talk about them, they realize how competitive the league is, and everybody instantly wants to be a part of it. So I truly encourage everybody to come out, watch a game, join the league. It's frederickkickball.com. It's a great time, meet a lot of people, a lot of networking, a lot of business opportunities have grown, and great charity events as well. The old